Drew over here. Coach was asking about Gunner and asking about some of the improvements and that kind of thing he's making. One thing he brought up was the decision-making process for him, how it's gotten consistently better as the year goes on. So you work with him closer than anybody. Kind of talk about a little bit along those lines, what you've seen from him as far as getting you guys in the right play, right calling, that sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, he puts in a lot of time, work, and effort into just off the field stuff like watching film, doing choosing plays he likes and stuff like that. And I just see him doing that and working so hard while we're watching film. He's in there writing stuff down on a piece of paper, what plays he likes, what he sees against this coverage. And I just think throughout the year he's gotten better and better at doing that. And like just putting him work off the field and deciding what he's going to do on Saturdays, that's helped him be able to do that.
Drew, so much of the conversation with this offensive line this year has been about battling injuries and fighting through it. How big was last week as far as having a bye week where y'all are still working but didn't have a game to grind through on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss, I think it's the first time we've had the same starting offensive line, and it's just been moving parts the whole other part of the year. But it's also good to have moving parts because we've created a lot of depth through doing that and people that we can rotate in the game and keep the offensive line fresh, and that's been really good for us. And just having a bye week to get even more healthy, kind of not as banged up as anymore, and it's just good to be able to go out there and this week and just have a full offensive line and a lot of depth.
What's your earliest memory of this rivalry?
I've been asked that a couple times, and I haven't really been able to think. I don't remember the Gator stomp or anything. I remember, I think someone fumbled going into the end zone. Florida fumbled once, and we ended up winning the game. And that's probably my earliest memory. I was watching it with my grandparents. I really don't remember who it was. I just remember Florida fumbling and us winning the game.
Yeah, how helpful can a bye week be for some of the freshmen you guys have had, like Dontrell, like Juan? How big of a jump can those guys make just with a week to focus on themselves going into this one?
During the bye week, we reflect on what we've done good and what we've done bad, and how we can improve in all those categories. And we watch tape from some of the games of what we've done good and bad, and we try to apply that to practice. And I think that's really good for them just to be able to see what we've done in the games. Because normally in the season, you have one day to look at the game you just played, and then you're on to the next game. And just to be able to reevaluate and see what they've done good and what they haven't done good, and just see how they can improve, has been good for them.
Yeah, in this rivalry, when you guys have won, the big thing you guys do afterwards is run up and jump in the stands. Just why is that a special tradition for the guys on this team? What does it mean to get to celebrate with the Georgia fans that make the trip in that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool because people make the trip down there. It's a long trip. You're just showing that you appreciate them, and it's fun to do. Just jump in the stands, take pictures with people, and I think it's just a fun tradition that's stuck.
Your father's been around this game, back to his playing days and a long time as a coach. Does he get more worked up for a game like this than a normal game on schedule?
I think so, but I'm really not 100% sure. I know that he gets more worked up. He gets worked up for all of them for a different reason, just because he's played in games like against these teams, so many games against most of the teams we played. He has something that he remembers from each game that works him up about it.
Drew, I know I guess this is the third year you've done the Rick Bowling deal. I know you guys have other team outings and you do a lot together, but what's different about that, and how much fun is that, and how competitive is it within the team? I guess I think Woodring might have won it. Is that actually something?
Yeah, I think Woodring won, but it's cool for me, especially because I got to be around Coach Rick so much whenever I was younger, when my dad was here, and just getting to see that and go out and see how many people are in support of an event for him is awesome. And it doesn't get too competitive. I mean, no one really goes too crazy, but I heard Lawson was in my lane, and he had to bowl the first game, and I bowled the second game, and I heard Peyton heard Lawson score and then wanted to beat it, and that's how he ended up winning, something like that.
Drew, I know we've asked you before about being a legacy player, your dad and all that being here. But what does that, when you look at it, what does that mean to you to be a legacy guy here at Georgia? And obviously there's some other guys, their dads play here too on this team right now. Are you guys maybe a little bit closer because of that?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Just not closer because the legacy or anything. I think closer because the amount of time I've gotten to spend with him being a coach here. And just, I'm getting to see him every day. And when I've probably seen him more since I've become a football player at Georgia than I've seen him the rest of my whole life combined, just because he's always on the road or doing stuff like that. So it's just been good for me to get closer to him through doing all of this.
Drew, one of the areas that Florida has had a lot of success this year has been stopping the run. What stands out to you about them in that regard, especially just that defensive front, what they do well?
Yeah, I think their front seven is just big, athletic, and aggressive football players. They're kind of built the same way that our team's built a little bit, and they run the same kind of defenses that our team runs as well. So it's just they pride themselves, I think, on stopping the run, and that's something that we need to know how to attack this week. We can do a good bit of more good on good this week, just playing against our own guys, because they kind of scheme up stuff the same way as we do, and we can just get after it and learn how we can run the ball on them effectively.
Drew, just where's this the offensive line, just as far as being healthy? Obviously, you guys get hit on every play, so just not having to do that for a week. What are you feeling, and what are some of the other guys in the room feeling like this week?
Yeah, obviously, just doing it every week, you get a little banged up. You get nicks and bruises everywhere, but having an off week, practicing a couple times, still getting after it, but just taking care of your body, having extra time over the weekend to take care of your body just meant a lot. And I think I know I'm feeling a little better. I think everyone else is too.
I was waiting for the last question because it's totally off topic, but you got Halloween coming on Friday, so I want to know what was your best, worst costume as a kid, and if I come over to your place on Friday, what do you serve?
My best and worst costume.
Yeah, when you were younger.
I'm trying to think. I know I was Jack Sparrow for a couple of years. I was Aaron Murray 2 years. I can't really think of anything else. I was something from Star Wars maybe. I'd say my best one was probably, I'll give it to Aaron Murray, and then my worst one was probably one of the Star Wars ones I was. And if I don't know what I'm serving. You're coming over on Friday.
Just follow up, because Murray's part of our show. What does an Aaron Murray Halloween outfit look like?
I had some old football pants that my dad had in the closet, an Aaron Murray jersey on with some little tiny pads, and like a bucket helmet on that my dad had in the basement. It was kind of a last minute costume, but it came together well.
Anyone else for Drew? All right, Drew, thank you.
Thanks, Drew.
We're working on that picture. You gotta look at it.